All right, I'm with, and I don't know your name, sir. Who are you with here?
Archie, Agnes.
Arnold Marks.
Okay, you guys are Team 40. You had, let's get out of the way here real quick. So I wanted to talk to you guys about your race because, you know, you guys pretty much represent never giving up. How was the race? I mean, you really kept going. What kept you going through this whole deal?
Friends and family just cheering us on, keeping us moving.
Yeah.
Great support from our sponsor and our friends.
Yeah, I was talking to Andrew. He said he pretty much, you guys had to really come up with a plan to get into Nome in time to be able to finish. And that's something that, you know, somebody at the front doesn't quite understand it. That's really...
Yeah, our first 2 days we were doing really well. You know, we were, you know, 6th place through Galena and 8th place when we actually broke the chain case. So we had high hopes, you know, getting a top 5, maybe top 3 finish, and then just one, you know, one rock could take out your whole race, but you know, it might have been a accumulation of hits. But yeah, we just talked to Drew, talked to our buddy Mike had already pulled out the chain case before we even called him. You know, he was like, nope, you guys are going, and we, you know, we started the race. We want to finish what we started, you know. So, I mean, our hopes were to finish high, but for the first goal is to finish.
Nice.
Really didn't want that DNF by our name.
Right. Yeah, and you know, Doug, part of Team 3, he's had a couple 3 DNFs, and it just is a pain that he couldn't, when I talked to him, he couldn't deal with that. He had to finish. That was this whole thing for this year. Other than the equipment failure, how was your race? I mean, was it all based on a struggle of maintenance through the whole time, or I mean, after you got your chain case, were you good since then?
No, we lost the bolt and Archie suspension out of White Mountain coming back, and I in the flat light, the stormy stuff, I broke an A-arm, and so we spent some more time in Shaktoolik working on that, and I broke a rear torsion spring coming in here today. Last couple 100 miles were pretty rough. So, yeah, it was actually a pretty big struggle to make it to Nome after we got our chain case. So we passed our deadline. You know, we kind of set a deadline for ourselves, 6 p.m. If we don't have it done by 6, we're not going to go to Nome. We're going to head back home to 10, or we're just going to turn around and drive home. But you know, we got it together, and we're like, man, you know, they said there was a storm up on the coast and bad weather. We're like, we could do it. Well, we better just try. You know, everybody, you know, they got us this chain case. Dave flew it over, landed out here, and so we just went for it.
Kind of feel that little bit of responsibility. Everybody's pulling for you. You're just the drivers. There's a lot of people part of the team instead of, you know, you got a whole village behind you in a lot of ways, yeah?
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of us, and Team 40 is a lot of people.
Right. Yeah. How many years have you run this?
This is my 5th year.
5th year?
This is my 3rd.
Yeah. Another thing I was gonna say is I always tell I coach a girls team. I always tell my girls team, like, they're down 30. I said there's no shame in losing as long as you try your best to, you know, play your hardest the whole game all the way to the end. So like that's kind of like the same, you know, you got to practice what you preach. So play your hardest till the end, you know. So.
Right. Well, you got a lot to be proud of. Congratulations.
Right.
You bet.
Thanks.